They chuckled when I didn't. It happened at the wedding reception. White orchids lined the tables, their petals soft and fragrant. Crystal glasses caught the chandelier's light, scattering it like stars across the room. My son Adam sat at the head table with his fiancée Lauren, glowing in ivory, prideful and polished, their smiles as radiant as the occasion. Beside them my wife, Helen, sipped champagne, savoring it as if it were some sacred elixir. I stood there, holding a bottle of wine in hand, a simple gift. Then Lauren leaned forward. Her smile was sweet, sugar sweet, but her eyes were sharp, cold, calculating. So we just need $45,000 to settle the bill for tonight, she said, her voice dripping with condescension. Or you can forget about having a son. She laughed, light, musical, but her eyes never followed. I didn't blink. You must be joking, I said, my voice steady, but the weight of her words settling in the pit of my stomach. That's when Adam and Helen laughed, really laughed. They found it hilarious. Really, Adam said, still smiling, that fake practice smile that had come so easily to him. Either pay up or leave. Maybe look into a retirement home while you're at it. That's when I laughed, loud and clear. And in that moment the room dimmed to silence. Their laughter faded, and the weight of my response hung in the air. I looked at them, my eyes unblinking, and then said, "You missed one thing." Their faces froze. They had forgotten who I was. They thought I had become the quiet, broken man they could dismiss. They didn't know I was the one who had raised Adam alone after Helen had left, not once but twice. They didn't know I had sold my motorcycle to pay for the violin lessons Adam had abandoned. They didn't know how I swallowed my pride, letting Helen return, as though nothing had fractured between us. They thought I was weak. They were wrong. The first clue had come 3 months earlier. Adam, my son, had gone silent. No birthday call, no check-ins. Then, I received a notice. Access to the joint investment account I'd set up for Adam when he turned 18 had been revoked. He claimed it was a glitch. He smiled his practiced smile. And I knew it was a lie. That's when Helen moved back in. She said she missed her family. But I had read the messages she exchanged with Lauren. He still has a retirement fund. Just keep playing nice until the wedding. We'll drain him. From Adam to Lauren. Don't worry, he's pathetic. Always has been. He'll pay. They had underestimated me. I'd spent years building a business from nothing and sold it quietly for $3.6 million. I kept records detailed, meticulous. And I kept theirs too. That night, I stopped mourning the family I thought I had and started preparing for what I needed to do. Step 1. I rewrote my will. I removed Adam from it and left everything to a scholarship fund in his name. A poetic irony. Step 2. I sold the house while Helen was out shopping with Lauren. She had no legal claim to it. A locksmith changed the locks before she could even step foot back inside. Step 3. I hired a forensic accountant, someone who could trace the missing funds Adam had rerouted. We took back every cent legally. I left $1 in an envelope with a note that read, "Thanks for minding my savings." Step 4. I RSVP'd yes to the wedding dinner. Quietly, I arranged with the hotel to downgrade the package to their most basic tier. No seafood, no upgrades, only polite smiles. So when Lauren demanded $45,000, it was all bluff. A house of cards built on fake diamonds and inflated pride. What they didn't know was that their hired photographer was an old friend of mine. He had captured everything. Their expressions, their whispers, the slow unraveling of their plan. "You forgot one thing," I repeated, this time louder, more deliberate. I looked around the room. "This dinner? Covered by Lauren's ex. You really should close those accounts," I added, nodding toward the joint credit account. Lauren's face crumbled. I turned to Adam. "You took from me, so here's your final gift." He froze, staring at his phone as the truth hit him. He checked the account, and it was gone, every penny reclaimed. "Remember the trust documents I asked you to sign?" I said. "You never did. No signature. No claim." Helen stood there sputtering. "You can't." "I already did," I said, my voice calm, as though nothing had happened. "Also, the house is gone. You might want to call a cab." I looked at them all. 3 people who thought I was someone they could drain without consequence. "Oh, and by the way," I added, "I filed a report. Forgery carries weight. Thought you should hear it from me. The forks dropped. A ripple of gasps. Lauren's mother stared, wide-eyed as I stood there unmoved. I smiled then, the smallest curl of satisfaction tugging at the corner of my lips. You thought I was a bank, I said. But you forgot. I'm the one who built it. And builders, we know when it's time to tear it down. Then without another word I turned and left. Into the clean cold night. There was no anger, no sorrow, just a steady quiet sense of justice. Betrayal is loud after all. But revenge? True revenge is quiet. Precise. Surgical. And I'd waited long enough to make my cut.